Hi, it's David C. Jones, and this is Before the Curtain Goes Up. And the curtain's about to go up on some people who have some problems with their identity, or perhaps they don't know who they are. Uh, this is a unique production, and I'm speaking with Valerie about it. Valerie, hello.
Hello.
So, the Identity Bureau. This is with the Some Assembly Required Theater, and this is primarily young people. Now, did you go? I have a concept for a show, and the students all then came up with ideas, and then you pushed them all together, and then wrote the script. How does the show come about?
Basically, yes, it's some assembly theater company. And we often get that mixed with some assembly required. We're some
All right.
assembly, that's okay. We're some assembly theater company, and exactly. The premise for the show started with conversations I was having with young people about identity, and that's been a huge topic over the years. And young people were talking about how it's quite damaging when their identity gets disrespected. And identity is such a complex topic. It really is quite a universal topic. It affects all of us. So the topic was decided based on these conversations. And then when we had our first script writing workshop, we had a brainstorm of ideas, and the youth were sharing all of their ideas, what was important to them that they included in the script.
Right.
And soon we realized, okay, this is some kind of bureau, the location
Oh,
of the
neat.
um where they're fighting for who they are, and some of them don't know who they are, but some of them do, and the bureau is not letting them be who they are as easily as they would like.
So, is this uh, is this specifically about trans and gender queer identities, or is this about also like labels like you're industrious, you're rich, you're spoiled, like all kinds of identities, or
all
where is this
all
zeroing in?
kinds, yeah, all kinds of identities. It's very diverse, everything from cultural heritage to gender to LGBTQ plus. Uh, there's also someone who later on reveals being on the autism spectrum. I mean, being alive and being a human is pretty fascinating because we are all unique, right?
Hmm.
And no one is alike. And so this play really looks at the absurdity when we don't get to choose and decide who we are.
It's interesting. I just want to speak very quickly too. I attended a workshop on inclusion. It's a subject that's very important to me all my life. And I heard a really great analogy done by the speaker. I can't remember their name, but it was like when we go into someone's house, we often say, "Can I take my shoes off?" Or do I have to take my shoes off? And then the house owner will say, "Yeah, please take your shoes off in here," or "No, you can keep them on." And we never fight that. We never go, "Damn it, I'm gonna keep my shoes on," right? And why are some people's noses at a joint about labeling people? If a person says, "Please call me this," they go, "Oh, you're policing my language." It's like, just consider me a house and you're wearing shoes.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. I completely agree 100%. That's another big reason why I'm doing this project. I find it really absurd.
Yeah.
Like, whose business is it, who we are, basically? And my opinion is, I think we get into these patterns, these routines, and I think for some people, they just can't break out of the pattern, maybe with what they're raised into thinking and viewing the world. Some people are a little bit perhaps more rigid and staying in their same patterns and
I think
how they think about things.
I think also people are lazy. They
Mhm.
want same. And you go, no, no, evolution, you're growing, you're aging, you're changing. That's the point of life. We don't listen to the same kind of music that we used to, when we were younger. The sounds are different, everything changes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't have same. Sorry, same gone, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? How can we learn if we don't change?
Yeah.
So being the same, yeah, that's interesting. Laziness, I think, does enter the picture sometimes for sure.
Now, with your ensemble, you have a huge ensemble.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to imagine, because they're telling the truth, that you have to take great care because some of them are kind of exposing themselves, or are some of them playing characters where they, oh, that's Bob's story, but I'm doing Bob's story. So are they? How do you make a container where they all are protective while they're being also vulnerable and exposed?
Yeah, great question. Definitely there is a mix. And so not everybody is playing themselves for sure. And for those who do have similarities with who they are in real life, there is that safe theatrical distance. That's really important to me. Whether it be costumes or, the character name or
Right.
differences in the background, no one is playing exactly who they are. There is a little bit of a distance there.
Wonderful.
And also with our company, we are partners with Vancouver Coastal Health, who
Oh,
provides resources for the youth who are involved. And they're a really important partner. So they provide clinicians who are at the performances of the plays. And so audience members have the opportunity to talk to a clinician if they want when they're viewing the play as well. And also, we're in the works to have nurses at the plays to provide resources.
right.
Um, yeah, it's important to me to try to have as much support as possible because the plays we do create and produce are slices of life. So,
It sounds like this one is because we don't want people watching going, well, this sounds very heavy. There is an absurdity to it because
yes.
people are getting assigned an identity. So we're getting sort of a slapsticky thing where it's grounded in truth, but it's also, would you say, like, how would you describe this show? Why should I go see this show?
You should go see this show because you're going to totally relate to it. It is quite funny. It is absurd. The location is an identity bureau. It's set in the near future where this bureau actually assigns us our identity
Nice.
and our identity traits. And we have to go there before the end of today to do any renewals of our identity or pay any fines. And
Breaking out.
this all happens before the big system rehaul. So there's something very important to look here about the bureaucratic system. We can all relate to that. I mean, for me, I was in a giant passport lineup last summer that snaked around the whole Sinclair Center. So there's a lot of comedy here.
Yeah.
So people are gonna laugh. There's original music. It's very inspiring.
Did you? Oh, there's music in it too. So
Yeah,
is it? It's not a musical, but there are songs in it.
correct. Yeah.
Right. So it's not like a welcome to the bureau or anything like that, but something a
No.
character is going to reveal a truth.
Yes, exactly.
Wonderful. Oh, that
Yeah.
sounds lovely.
Yeah.
It sounds just exquisite because like I all my life have been very devoted to young people, particularly young people who are like just going into adulthood. Right? So
Mhm.
they're negotiating because it's like, oh, I'm not being completely taken care of all the time now. I'm starting to make my own decisions. And often that's baffling to them,
Mhm.
right? We don't prep them, we don't prepare, not enough of us prep them.
Mhm.
So what is your favorite part about this show? What is the thing that you go, gosh, this show is special?
Oh, that's a great question. So many things are my favorite. I love how the youth themselves are performing the show. I there are so many beautiful moments. We're 1 month away from the show going live, but we just had a rehearsal last night, and there's already beautiful, believable moments that are just really touching. It's, you know what? It's such a beautiful play that speaks to the heart and leaves us with that question like, yeah, why would I question, who someone is and how they identify, right? As long
Yeah.
as someone's happy and living their true, authentic life, then great. Be
If
happy for them.
if you're not having to buy them a toaster or take out their garbage or mow their lawn, let them be who they are,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
It's
Yeah,
not
totally.
causing you anything, right? It's not
Exactly.
costing you anything for that person to exist.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
it's like that stuff about the drag queen protests, right? Where you're like, if you don't want to see the show, don't go,
Yeah.
right? They're not forcing you to go. It's not mandatory to attend.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. Exactly. And this play is super entertaining.
Nice.
So it's there's just a lot of joy in it. We live in this world together, right? We share this world together. We're a community, so it's just very heartwarming and it gives a lot of hope.
You know what? I usually end these interviews by asking people to turn directly to camera and sell the show to the people watching, but I think you just did. So thank you. I'm so looking forward to the Identity Bureau by some assembly theater company. Nothing is required at this company.
That's right. Yeah, I like that.
Nice. Thank you so much, Valerie. Thank you so much for taking time to talk with me.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Bye.
Bye.